Je voulais commencer par dire un grand merci au Canada. Un grand merci au Canada pour votre hospitalité, pour l'organisation impeccable de cette session annuelle. Un grand merci à Eddie Fry. Eddie Fry, on est dans ta ville. Tu as pensé à faire cette rencontre il y a 4 ans. Covid nous a empêchés de la faire en 2020. Mais je voulais te remercier personnellement, Eddie, pour ton travail dans l'Assemblée parlementaire, pour les thèmes, les questions que tu as portées dans notre Assemblée historiquement. Tu es une figure iconique, comme je l'avais dit, dans notre Assemblée. Je te remercie personnellement parce que tu as vraiment créé ici une occasion pour toutes les délégations de se parler entre eux, de créer des relations entre eux. C'est l'esprit de l'Assemblée parlementaire qui s'est vraiment développé entre nous dans ces jours qu'on a été ici à Vancouver, et aussi le temps nous a aidé beaucoup. Donc, merci beaucoup Eddie et merci beaucoup le Canada pour nous avoir hospité ici. Cette session a un grand succès organisatif, bien sûr, mais aussi un grand succès politique. Les membres se sont rencontrés dans les commissions, dans les plénaires. Vous avez adopté la déclaration de Vancouver. Dans cette déclaration, il y a les positions des représentants du peuple de l'Assemblée parlementaire, 1 million de citoyens que vous représentez, où les positions des parlementaires sont très claires sur des questions fondamentales comme la guerre que la Russie a portée contre l'Ukraine. Et je suis très content et je suis très fier du travail que vous avez fait. Nos positions sont sans ambiguïté de 2014, de la résolution de Ben Cardin à Bakou, où on a dit qu'il y a eu des clear, gross, uncorrected violations of the Helsinki Final Act. On a dit quel est le pays qui l'a fait, la Russie, contre l'Ukraine. Et ça me rend très fier qu'ici, à l'Assemblée parlementaire, on peut dire les choses comme elles sont. Et ça, c'est un acquis qu'il faut conserver. Today is the 4th of July. I would like to wish happy Independence Day to our American colleagues. And I would like to also stress and underscore my personal appreciation for the very constructive role that the US delegation has played in this assembly. They have expressed and displayed a very strong leadership, of course, on leading us in strong positions, the ones I referred of Ben Cardin's resolution, but also Roger Wicker's statement that was voted in Vienna at our winter meeting. I think it put our assembly at the high level of politics when we come to the positions of this assembly. Thank you also very much to Congressman Hudson for his constructive role also in helping us also clear the ground of some challenges we've had after the winter meeting in Vienna. And I really appreciate the constructive role that the Americans has played in putting us all together, in trying to bring us all together and focus on the real priorities of this assembly, which is the war and which is how the parliamentarians can use their capital to fight this. Today we elect a new leadership. I must say that the episode we just seen before also makes me think that a serious reform of our rules of procedure and the way we organize our system of electing or meeting has to be done. I think we shouldn't only talk about reform of the rules. I think we should have a reflection. The new bureau should do some reflections on what is the assembly we want, what kind of posture we want of the assembly, what is the tools that we want to adopt, more elections, less elections, more démarches, more conflict prevention activities. I think we should think a little bit again of our main goals, and once we have that in mind, then have the rules follow that. And the rules will be able to service the priorities, the political strategies that the political leadership of the Assembly has set. And of course, in these rules, there will be also a role for the Secretariat, which has to service the parliamentarians and accompany the implementation of the political priorities that you set in place. My responsibility, as you know, is to run the Secretariat, and I am very grateful to the Standing Committee for passing the budget. This was a very important issue for us because because without the budget we cannot function. So I thank the Standing Committee for its vision and leadership in passing a budget, which also includes an additional addendum to perform a business audit from the 1st of October. This is something very healthy for our Assembly. I have always prided myself for having been the one who has brought new rules and regulations, new financial rules and regulations, but I think an increased accountability and increased oversight of how the Secretariat conducts its affairs is extremely welcome, and I welcome the work of the auditor from the 1st of October, and its results will be presented at our winter meeting in February next year. A last word is also to thank the contributors to the budget of the OSCE. During my Standing Committee meeting, I actually made a mistake. I was mentioning that the Russian Federation has not paid its dues, which is true, but I mentioned that the Russian Federation is the second contributor. It is not. The second contributor is France, Italy, Germany, and the UK after the US, and then there is the Russian Federation. I just wanted to correct because I kind of misinformed the Standing Committee last time. But of course, we have challenges without the contribution of the Russian Federation. The President and the Treasurer have authorized me to take from our reserves to cover for the missing part of the budget, but we will have to address this issue in a more structured way in the future. A word on the staff. The staff of the Parliamentary Assembly is the backbone of this organization. I am very proud of the staff we have. Gustavo Pagliares, Deputy Secretary General, is here, is the leader in making sure that this assembly took place. He's been here several times. Gustavo, my personal appreciation for you, for what you are doing for this assembly, for the years of dedication that you have given to this assembly, for the advice you give to me, which sometimes is very helpful because sometimes I can be also a bit more impulsive. Gustavo is the one who tells me, look, calm down, think of the bigger picture. So thank you very much, Gustavo, for your friendship and your support in the work we do together in running this organization. But of course, the staff, as I said, is the backbone of the organization. You will have seen in my report. I would like to bring the staff also in a more, let's say, financial conditions more similar, professional conditions more similar to those of the OSCE governmental side and the UN. We are still very far behind that. I think we can fix this in the next 2-3 years, but I really count on the support of the new Treasurer and the Standing Committee to help work together with us and eventually with the work and the outcome of the audit to help us also give the adequate, let's say, conditions of employment for the staff of the Parliamentary Assembly. One note on the absence of the CIO and the Secretary General. I really regret this. I have worked for 10 years in the governmental side of the OSCE, and I have made it one of the trademark of my tenure here as Secretary General to improve the relationship with the OSCE. As you have seen with the ODIHR, with whom we had challenges in the past, the relationship are perfect. The relationship, of course, also with the Secretary General of the OSCE is excellent, with the chairmanship, but their absence here, however justified, is not a good sign. And I think, I hope the new president in the second part of the year will meet with the chairman in office, will meet with the Secretary General, and will try to kind of improve this relationship that is good, but the absence here is not a good sign, because I think the executive of the OSCE should be present when the representatives of the people of the OSCE meet, and they should interact with us more. And on a personal note, I'd like to conclude, Madam President, it's been very difficult years for me also on a personal level. These last 2 years with COVID, with the war the war waged by Russia against Ukraine has made our work very difficult, has given us additional stress. I hope that this day, Independence Day, also marks the end of this very difficult period, and as many of you know, I'm a very optimistic person, so I hope the best is yet to come for all of us. Thank you very much.